Hi, good evening, everybody, and welcome to today's The Career Talkies with Abhilash. Today, I have with me Sarthak Singh, All India rank and Civil Services Examination 2024 topper with me. Welcome, Sarthak.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for your time. In a very short span, I called you up and you accepted the session. I would like to introduce you as I would like majorly for you to introduce yourself, but for all my audience मैं सबसे ये कहना चाहूँगा कि ऐसे बार बार ऐसे जर्नी होती है लाइफ में कि जहाँ पर आपको लगता है कि जैसे कि मैंने मेहनत की और मेरे को उसका आउटकम मिल गया, बट थोड़ी दिन बाद आपको रियलाइज करते हैं कि नहीं, कुछ तो तकनीकी खराबी हो गई और सब कुछ होने के बावजूद भी मेरे हाथ में कुछ नहीं रहा. तो सार्थक is one of the most rarest success story journey when it comes to this particular stream of career, where he in 2022 had already qualified and already was in the rank list of UPSC, and some other thing happened with him which we'll come to know in the story later. और फिर उनको आगे वो बढ़ नहीं पाए, बट उन्होंने उससे अपने आप को डिजेक्ट नहीं किया. ही डिडंट फील दैट कि आगे लाइफ खत्म हो गई. ही हैड द अटेम्प्ट, he had the courage, and with the entire support of his parents and his own motivation, today you can see the result, what you can see, the smile around his face, that he has finally achieved it again, and his comeback is like a comeback. और इस पूरी जर्नी में इट इज नॉट ए वन डे इवेंट और टू डे इवेंट. उनका पूरा परसिवरेंस और जो बोलते हैं कि अपने आप के साथ इंटरेक्शन इतना स्ट्रांग रहा होगा, which we will come to know, because why we are talking to toppers are to understand what exactly is a growth mindset. ऐसा क्या मन में होता है कि उनको लगता है कि मैं हार नहीं मानूंगा, जब तक तोड़ेंगे नहीं तब तक छोड़ेंगे नहीं. So exactly with that kind of attitude, today we have Sarthak with us. Sarthak, welcome to the Career Talkies with Abhilash. And this is a very small podcast जहाँ पे हम करियर्स और एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी की बात करते हैं, और मैं बहुत अलग अलग करियर्स के बारे में बात करता हूँ ताकि मैं चाहूँ मैं ऑडियंस इज अवेयर अबाउट मल्टीपल करियर्स and to today's generation how they can be a part of various careers with interaction with many career leaders. आप एक पब्लिक सर्विस डोमेन है सिविल सर्विसेज, एंड इसके बारे में हम डेफिनेटली लोग ये भी जानते हैं कि कई एक तरीका है मूवीज के थ्रू ट्वेल्थ फेल या बड़े बड़े जिस तरीके से सीरीज में बताते हैं कि आईएएस एग्जाम, और उसके बारे में एक बहुत लोगों का आइडिया तो रहता है कि एग्जाम क्या है, बट करियर इज पब्लिक सर्विस का करियर है. और कई सारे लोगों को जो है व्हाट्सएप फॉरवर्ड वगैरह से पूछा हुआ ना, ये आईएएस में पूछा गया था, ऐसे करके भी परसेप्शन होता है कि कोई तो तगड़ा एग्जाम है, कोई तो टफ एग्जाम है. तो कई से लोगों का परसेप्शन है. मैं चाहूंगा कि आज टुडे यू टेक अस थ्रू योर जर्नी, first from the school to education, that what was your education, how was your educative years, how did you dream for career like this, क्या इससे पहले आपने कुछ और करियर चूज किया था, and like that. Then you tell us about various career decisions which you made in entire after your formative education years. And then our last segment would be more about this particular यूपीएससी जर्नी, एंड विद द ट्विस्ट एज आई ऑलरेडी मेंशन, जैसा आपके साथ एक स्टोरी एक बहुत डिफरेंट एंड यूनिक हुई है. विद दैट आई वुड लाइक यू टू प्लीज लेट आवर ऑडियंस नो अबाउट योर मोर.
So, thank you, sir. Thank you for having me here. I'm Sarthak, and I was I started my schooling from DAV Public School, Gurgaon, and later on for classes 11th and 12th, I went to the Delhi Public School, RK Puram, New Delhi. And during my school years, I was uh, above average, a good student, not the toppers all the time, but above average and a good student. I would rate myself in the academics part, and I was also very much active in the co-curricular activities like dramatics, debating, extempore, speech, especially Hindi speech. I won a few competitions on that part as well. And when I was in class 12th, I was choosing my subjects. I chose the PCM, the physics, chemistry, maths, and along with that, I chose economics and legal studies. So it was I was equally confused as children of today, students of today would be while choosing their streams in class 11th, especially. So I took science as well as humanities together. So I left this decision of choosing a career path to the later years after class 12th. So after class 10th, I chose both science and humanities subjects, that are economics and legal studies. And obviously, English is a common compulsory subject. So English was there. So I think in school, what we learn, the most important thing that a school is teaching, I think, is discipline and the importance of time management. And that will be relevant wherever you go, because they have a segregated periods for each subject. 7 to 8 periods are there in different school, 40-45 minutes. And that way of studying is very essential when you study for a big exam like UPSC. Like, you segregate your day into 2 hours each period. So you study for 6 to 8 hours by having 3-4 periods by yourself. Another thing I think that schools are good at teaching is I I think a few schools, especially wherein students are provided opportunity for their development of personality, they are contributing more rather than just focusing on academics. So I think as a student also, we should not just be focused on academics, but we should take part in sports, the extracurriculars. But certain schools would have their limitations of infrastructure and everything. So I think that's not in one's hand, but wherever it is available, the opportunities that are available should be used by the students to their maximum. And after class 12th, I took admission in the Delhi Technological University for engineering. I graduated, and during my engineering years, I was part of the National Service Scheme. So it is a society that aims for connecting the college students with the society. We used to do community work, and while working there, I found that the potential that a civil services officer would have on the community with his role in the policy implementation and policy formulation is, I think, that excited me while in college. So as a single individual, you can transform lives of a very large population. And the
सार्थक, मैं
civil
2 मिनट
services,
आपको पॉज पॉज करना चाहूंगा, बिकॉज आप पहले आप आ चुके हैं आपके पर्पस, हाउ डिड यू कम टू नो। हम चलते हैं आपके स्कूलिंग ईयर में।
yes,
यूजुअली पता है स्कूलिंग में बच्चों के साथ क्या होता है ना, कि कौन क्या सोचेगा अगर मैं हार गया तो स्टेज में जाके बोलना, या मैंने आप तो बोल दिया, आप डिबेटर भी एक्सटेम्पोर और बड़े प्यार से आपने बोल दिया, बट एक जो पहली बार जो डर होता है कि कौन क्या बोलेगा, मैं नहीं बोल पाया तो मैं आवाज नहीं निकली कि कोई भी चीज है, वो डर, चाहे आप कहीं पे हो, दिल्ली से पढ़ रहे हो कि कन्याकुमारी में पढ़ रहे हो, अपने वर्नाकुलर लैंग्वेज में कर रहे हो, वो डर कॉमन है। और वो मुझे लगता है
yes,
सबसे पहला बैरियर है,
yes, sir.
एक अपने पर्सनैलिटी को निखार में आपने वो, हाउ डिड यू क्रॉस दैट बैरियर। एंड भैया आपने बोला आपने स्कूल भी शिफ्ट किया, डेफिनेटली दोस्त भी अलग हो गए होंगे और माहौल थोड़ी सी डिफरेंट हो गया होगा।
Yes,
हाउ डिड यू
yes.
क्रैक दैट, हाउ डिड यू मैनेज दैट मैंने मोमेंट।
Sir, I think wo barrier, the stage fear is very much common and very natural. So we have to acknowledge that nobody is born a public speaker. So we will learn speaking when we start to speak. I remember a point in class 6 where I was going to sing a song in the singing competition, and I went to the stage and I just froze and I did not speak a word, I did not speak a sentence, and I came down. And I didn't go back again on stage. It was class 6, as far as I can recall. And after the competition was over, the music teacher said that we will one, all of us, we want a song from Sarthak, so we want him again on the stage. Then I went on the stage again, and I did not sing a song there. So two times I went that day and I came back quietly. But I think it was a part of the inertia that we have, the static friction as we call it in physics. So I think it was the initial inertia that I had. But after that, I started to speak in the classroom while narrating a story to the class or while reading a book in the class 7th and 8th. Then after that, I started participating in debates and speeches and the competitions that I was mentioning. And it is a part of a evolving personality that you face your fears, you acknowledge that yes, I am fearful of it, and then I want to improve upon myself. Also, there has to be a role of the teachers and friends, those who support you, those who would clap for you even when you have not sung a song. So my teachers and my friends were so generous that they clapped even when I was going on the stage and coming back. So they were appreciating the courage to go there and come back without singing, I think.
Now I
So
think
people
yeah,
like
courage
them,
आपने सही बात कही है, courage.
yes,
Because to go there
people
it
like
itself
them,
needs.
yes, people like them who encourage others, they help you somewhere to become what you are today. And a lot of teachers from my initial schooling, from classes third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, I remember that they have had a I I use some of their wordings, some of their life lessons, I would say, in the today's time as well. So what time management I learned from my class third, grade three class teacher, I am continuing to use it even today. So
ये
I
बहुत
think
अच्छा है
there is
एक्चुअली.
a relevance of
ये
what you learn in schools, and if you are
बिल्कुल.
getting good teachers, you should make best use of them. And if you do something good, then you should definitely go back and tell them, like, that ma'am or sir, you helped me while I was in that phase, and I am ahead of it. I have
Wow.
overcome my fears.
बहुत बढ़िया. आई थिंक वन आई मीन आई डोंट वांट टू मेक इट लाइक अ लेसन लर्न, बट ये मैंने आज आपने दो पॉइंट बोली. पहले थे कि यूपीएससी की जर्नी में टाइम टेबल और डिसिप्लिन दो चीज है जो स्कूलिंग का जो आपके साथ रहता है. नॉट जस्ट यूपीएससी की जर्नी में, अगर आप लाइफ में करियर में भी आगे बढ़ना चाहते हैं, नौकरी भी करते हैं, तो ये दो पार्ट आपके साथ रहता है एस्पेक्ट. सेकेंड, आपने जो अभी बोला कि द बैरियर एंड द काइंड ऑफ एनकरेजिंग एनवायरनमेंट स्टूडेंट्स का या फ्रेंड्स बनाने का, कि जो टीचर जो आपका एनकरेज करते हैं, और डेफिनेटली यू डोंट फील ashamed, or you must be hearing the news these days how how young minds judge themselves, और वो बहुत ड्रास्टिक स्टेप्स ले जाते हैं ये सोच के कि द फीलिंग ऑफ फीलिंग ashamed, और फीलिंग ऑफ कि to push back from the society due to comparison or whatever thing. It's a very tiny age to do or decide or think on ऐसा कुछ करने के लिए. तो मुझे ऐसा मतलब from your thing I felt the kind of comfortable equation which you shared with your teachers and your friends made you feel कि आप वो बैरियर को क्रॉस करें, एंड यू कैन बी ओपनिंग अप. आप बोल सकते हो कि मुझे मैं भूल गया, कि मुझे नहीं याद आया. मे बी
Yes,
दैट वुड हैव बीन द मैजिक, कि आगे आगे जिंदगी में आपको कभी उसका सोचना भी नहीं पड़ा कि ऐसा होगा.
yes,
तो सार्थक, आई थिंक वेरी वैल्यूबल पॉइंट फॉर ऑल दिस kids who are watching, and in fact parents who are watching, and understanding. I know Sarthak inspires everybody across being a UPSC topper. So now I come to your college journey. First question is, were you a hostelite or were you a day scholar?
no, sir, I was a day scholar initially in my first year, but then in second year, there was a lot of time getting wasted in traveling to and from the college, and also the studies was getting serious. So I took a PG room nearby my college. So I was living there.
सो आजकल का जो आपने भी टेक्निकल ग्रेजुएशन की है, तो वहाँ पे क्या है ना, आजकल ऐसा माहौल हो गया कि लॉट ऑफ टाइम गोज इन अपार्ट फ्रॉम द कॉलेज एक्टिविटीज. there's a whole lot of time you do learning new skill set. अगर आपने कंप्यूटर में किया है तो प्रोग्रामिंग या इंटर्नशिप, या स्पेशली आपने डीटीयू से किया, तो कॉलेज इज ऑल्सो नोन फॉर दैट कि बच्चे कुछ प्रोजेक्ट बना रहे हैं, कुछ ड्रोन बना रहे हैं, कहीं कुछ इंटरनेशनल कंपटीशन में जा रहे हैं, मतलब, या कोई स्टार्टअप खोल दिए हैं सेकेंड ईयर में, या मतलब कुछ ना कुछ ऐसा एक मतलब कि कॉलेज की दुनिया में ही आप जान पाते हो कि यार ये भी चल रहा है, वो भी चल रहा है, जो कि बाहर शायद से न्यूज़ आइटम में नहीं नहीं पता चलता है. तो आपके साथ ऐसा कोई एक्सपीरियंस और ऐसा कुछ, या वेर यू पार्ट ऑफ एनी सच क्लब्स, और वेर यू अपार्ट फ्रॉम एनएसएस which was about uh, government, I mean, initiative for social service, But otherwise, how was your college year as a technical graduate, and what was your, impact on your own self growth and this?
Sir, I my college had a lot of clubs and these areas for or the incubation center for startups, but I was not part of them because for one reason my marks in my first year were not as good as somebody would expect, because I became too much involved in every other thing. I involved in myself in gymming, in cricket. So my times would go in the first year on in these activities, and I would left with very low time for studies. So my CGPA in first semester especially was very low. Then I decided that I need to improve this CGPA. So in second sem, third sem, I focused on the studies, and after that, in the third sem, I took part in the NSS and I continued with it. But since the college is a time, in my opinion, where you can afford to fail, and we should try and fail as many times as possible in college. Whether you are making a drone, it would fall on your face, that is good. If you are making a car which would not run, that is also good. If you are making a computer program, even after reprogramming it 10 times, it would not function as you are desiring it, it is good. I think it is good that if we face our failures, our setbacks early on in our careers, early on in our life. And when you are in college or when you are just out of college, the age from around 19 to 22, 23, you have nothing to lose. You are not losing anything. You are only gaining experience. You are not even losing your time. Failing at a age of 36, so to make a startup, some can say that you are losing a time, or you can do some other corporate job as well. But at 23, 25, 26, 28, you are not even losing the time. You are gaining experience. And that experience which you gain after failing repeatedly, this will build you on something that is much larger than even your own expectations. So I think failing is a very important part to do anything good that you want to do in your careers. Because I have rarely we have seen people that fail, and even some who do very good in their first attempts, whether be it the startups or be it the exams, they fail a lot of while in their practice. So they are failing, but you are not looking at their failures because they failed during their practice years. So I think fail if you fail, the more number of times you fail, the more closer you are to success is what, sir, I believe in. And the college is
So
the right time to get rid of all of your failures.
fantastic. एक बहुत यूनिक पर्सपेक्टिव आपने बोला एक्चुअली. आई थिंक दिस इज व्हाट मेक्स योर फाउंडेशन आल्सो एज अ पर्सन वेरी स्ट्रांग. मतलब ये नाजुक बच्चे स्कूल के कॉलेज के एग्जाम में, जैसे आपने बोला ना, फर्स्ट ईयर में बहुत सारे बच्चे हैं जो स्कूल में 95-96% लाए होते हैं, और पहले ही साल
Yes,
में
sir.
इंजीनियरिंग दिखा देता है कि फेल होना क्या होता है, कि बैक पेपर क्या होता है, और आप
Same happened with
झटका
me.
ले जाते हो. तो नहीं, मतलब कई लोगों के साथ है. इट्स नॉट, आई एम नॉट सेइंग इन पर से. एंड आप, द वे यू टेक इट, कि भैया आपको तो जाना ही है, गाड़ी तो आगे चलेगी चलेगी, इसी में ही चलेगी, एंड आई नीड टू इम्प्रूव एंड यू नीड टू स्टार्ट द एंटायर माइंडसेट फ्रॉम स्कूलिंग टू कॉलेज चेंजेस. एक कहावत है कि लाइक बॉयज बिकम मैन, girls become, responsible female women in during these formative years as well. Actually mindset जो है थोड़ी सी, आपका माइंडसेट बिल्कुल ग्रोथ माइंडसेट वाला एटीट्यूड आपने अभी जो बताया, कि आप फेल करो जितना उतना आपका एक्सपीरियंस बनता है. एंड एग्जैक्टली कब फेल करो, कि फर्स्ट ईयर में प्रैक्टिस करो तो भी आपका सेफ्टी जोन में कोई ऐसा बाहर नहीं टूट पड़ रहा है. तो फैंटास्टिक पर्सपेक्टिव. कमिंग टू योर कॉलेज में क्या होता है ना, अभी आई, बिकॉज मेनी ऑल्सो स्टूडेंट्स आर देयर जो उस वक्त हमारे पेरेंट्स का प्रेशर, सबका प्रेशर होता है कि भाई इतने बढ़िया कॉलेज में गया है, कैंपस तो लेना चाहिए. सेकेंड ईयर थर्ड ईयर से इंटर्नशिप की कभी बात होती है, तो कभी इंटरव्यू क्लासेस का, किसी का इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग का चैलेंज है, किसी का सॉफ्ट स्किल ट्रेनिंग चल रहा है, किसी का कोई गेट के लिए प्रिपेयर कर रहा है टेक्निकल लाइन में, कोई कैट के लिए प्रिपेयर कर रहा है, कोई एमएस के लिए बाहर प्रिपेयर कर रहा है, जी या जी मैट के लिए. सो होल लॉट ऑफ पीपल विद डिफरेंट पर्पसेस उसी साल में दिख जाते हैं. कई लोगों को तो पता भी नहीं होता अभी करना क्या है, क्या इतने जल्दी तीसरा साल आ गया. एंड यू नो, योर आस पड़ोस के लोग फ्लैश कार्ड लेके घूम रहे हैं प्रोफाइल जीआरई को करने के लिए, बाहर जाने के लिए, एंड ये पता नहीं क्या कर रहा है ना, आई एम नॉट इवन अवेयर. Did something like that happen with you, or you were very clear that yeah, your campus was already done something? I mean, what was that your journey around that time?
So I was working in the NSS in my second and third years, and I realized the impact that a civil servant or a public servant can have to the life of people and public welfare. And I decided that I would be appearing for the exam in my third year. So I was starting to look at some strategy videos on YouTube as to how to go about it. So I started that thing in the third year or the fourth year, I would say. In the sixth semester, I started with it. And to those people who are not able to find what they have to do, a lot of friends of mine, they were not very clear at the third year as to what they have to do, but now they are very good lawyers. After doing engineering, they have done law from a very good college in India, and they are brimming lawyers and future good lawyers, in my opinion. So I think if you are not sure in your heart that you have to do this, so you change your field. If you are trying a startup and the three iterations of your model has failed, and if you want to change your field, you look for the campus placement. If you are not getting the campus placement, you change your field of study if you wish to. Like a friend of mine who was an engineer is now pursuing law and is now practicing as a lawyer. So you change your field, and you change as long as your heart finds peace. I think wherever your heart would find peace, that is your way to go about it in your career and in most things in life, but in your career as well. And you can keep on changing things because, as I said earlier, at 20, 23, 25, 27, you are not losing time. There is a lot of time ahead in your journey, and these are just the formative years, the beginning years of the life, where you are gaining the experience of the world around, where you are getting to know how this real world functions outside the campuses of your schools and colleges. So I think this, the practice of finding where your heart, the voice of your heart lies, this has to go on until you there would be something where you would be stuck, like this is what I want to do. And when you find that, you continue with it. If you find it in the 19 years of age, well and good. If you find it in the 25 years of age, that is also well and good, in my opinion, because you have reached where your energies and where your mindset is aligning, that is required to progress in that path of the chosen career. So I think keep on iterations, and it is the life is a hit and trial. It is a series of hit and trial. Some you would miss, some you would hit, and where you hit, you realize that this is the way to go about it, and you repeat it again.
Super. In fact, when you spoke about career, the awareness about multiple career also is a kind of thing ना, उस टाइम पे आदमी देखता है. जैसे कई बच्चे हैं जिनको पता नहीं होता कि आफ्टर ग्रेजुएशन ऑल्सो यू कैन बी पार्ट ऑफ इंडियन आर्मी और डिफेंस फोर्सेस. आप सीडीएस जैसा एग्जाम दे सकते हैं. इंजीनियर हो तो टेक्निकल एंट्री होती है, तो या शॉर्ट सर्विस कमीशन के लिए एग्जाम होता है. सो या अदर एस्पेक्ट ऑफ एग्जाम जिसमें कि आप मे बी आप टेक्निकली ग्रेजुएट हो रहे हो या आपका इंटरेस्ट टेक्निकल लाइन में है नहीं, और आपका इंटरेस्ट ओनली टेक्निकल लाइन में आने के बाद ही पता चला कि मेरा इंटरेस्ट यहाँ पे है नहीं, और जिस जगह इंटरेस्ट है तो कहाँ मैं अपने एनर्जी डाइवर्ट करूँ. तो करियर अवेयरनेस, मैं थोड़ी सी अपने बारे में तो यहाँ बोलने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ कि हैविंग अवेयरनेस ऑफ करियर इज समथिंग ऑल्सो. मुझे लगता है थर्ड और फोर्थ ईयर में बच्चों को, स्टूडेंट्स को बताना चाहिए, स्पेशली थ्रू देयर एल्यूमिनाइज. कि अभी जैसे आप हो और आप जब जाओगे आपके कॉलेज में, तो आज ऐसा एक सार्थक बैठा होगा वहाँ पे थर्ड ईयर और सेकेंड ईयर में, जो ये कंफ्यूज होगा कि मेरे को प्लेसमेंट में इन्फोसिस में जाना है कि मुझे आईटी प्लेसमेंट में जाना है कि क्या करना है. एंड ये तो ये बोल रहे हैं यहाँ पे ये पैकेज है, वहाँ पे वो मिल रहा है. व्हाट आर द पैरामीटर्स ऑन विच यू टेक अ डिसीजन कि मैं क्या करूंगा मेरा फ्यूचर का. You found your purpose in the social sector and the contribution, and I'm definitely going to give you the mic for the next 10-15 minutes, because now we are at the end of our conversation. But I would like to also tell uh, our audience, जैसे सार्थक जी ने, सार्थक looked around, he went out of his college to be a part of social service. बाहर जाके उनको पता चला कि कम्युनिटी सर्विस और इम्पैक्ट एंड वेरियस जॉब रोल जो इस पे करते हैं. तो आपको थोड़ी थोड़ी तो अपने कंफर्ट जोन से बाहर निकलना पड़ेगा टू एक्सप्लोर समथिंग, टू लर्न अबाउट समथिंग, मे बी वो आपका मिशन वहां पे वेट कर रहा हो. So that I feel is how Sarthak could have navigated, that his purpose of community service led him to be very very crystal clear कि मैं तीसरे साल के बाद किस तरफ तैयारी करूंगा. And he started with, as he mentioned, watching YouTube and getting himself learning about the career and examination. Now Sarthak, it's your UPSC journey, and we all would like to know your UPSC journey, your various stages of life. What were your, how were your support system, friends, more about the exam, whatever you want to share with us, and definitely all the people whom you want to thank, and uh, how is your feeling right now, and the message you want to give to the future aspirants.
The feeling after the selection is very relieving. More than happiness, I think it's relieving. And but it was not this at the beginning. It was a lot of confusion, a self doubt every other day. Almost every third day, I was like, why should I even do this? I should quit this and I should look for something else. But I think once you find that I have to do it, it would appear challenging in the starting. As I mentioned, that static friction is greater than the sliding friction. So persons with the physics background or that kind of knowledge would understand this. This when you start something, it is even more difficult. But when you start to do it daily, it will look comparatively less difficult than what it was at the start. So same was my UPSC journey. I graduated out in 2019 and I appeared in the prelims exam just 2 days after my final practical viva that we have in the engineering. So I failed that prelims that day. I was not even able to read the total 100 questions in the prelims that are there. So in the exam hall, I was clear in my mind that I am failing this prelims of 2019, but I was also clear that next time I can clear this prelims exam and it is doable after a certain point of practice and knowledge. And I think I would be able to do it. This also was clear to me in the exam hall in 2019, 2nd of June 2019. I think it was the prelims that year. So in next year it was COVID 2020. The prelims got postponed. There was a more much of the wait. In 4th of October, the prelims happened, and I cleared that prelims. Then I had prepared reasonably well for my mains exam. I cleared the mains also in that attempt, and I appeared in the interview. And when you reach toward the interview in second attempt, you would think yourself as a very knowledgeable person. You would feel super confident, and you would just expect yourself to be allotted a good service when the result is out. But that day, I failed and I was not in the list and I missed it by 20-30 marks when the marks came out. And the next prelims also of 2021, it was also in October because that also got postponed due to second wave of COVID. And that prelims also I failed. The third prelims in 2021 I failed. Then I think I had a time to think to myself that what can be done to improve in case I clear prelims next attempt 2022, then what should be my way to clear mains and get into the list. So I worked on that part. I met a few people, I met a few friends who had already cleared the exam in that year 2021 and 2020. So I talked to them and I prepared. I looked at a lot of toppers answer copies so as to what they are writing because they are getting higher marks. And then in 2022, 5th of June was the prelims. I did not sleep a moment on that day. It was hardly 30-40 minutes of sleep because I was very much excited that give me the paper and let me show you how much I am prepared. I am preparing, waiting for this day. So I did not sleep. I slept around 30, 40, 45 minutes that day. But I realized that a human mind can function even without one day of sleep. So I now suggest people that if you are not able to sleep just one day before your the D day, whatever you have, that's fine. And everybody is like this only. So your competitor who is sitting in the exam hall, appearing into the exam paper next to you, he or she has also not slept the last night. So it's a equal footing on that part. And I had prepared for mains. I cleared mains in 2022. I got reasonably good marks by Preeti Sudan ma'am in the 2022 interview, and I got into the list. My rank was 584 last time, so I was hoping to get a good service. Then, as everyone's parents would say that you should try once more to improve your service, to increase your rank, to go on to the better rank. So you should attempt again. Then, without any mood to attempt the paper, I just went into the exam hall on 28th of May 2023, and I came back and I knew that the CSAT was the landmark CSAT paper in 2023, and a lot of engineers, even with people with maths optional, failed. And I was also one of the engineers that failed because we were relying on mathematics, and I had not even looked at the English in that paper. So that day I realized that it is very important to be not to be rigid in your approach, whether be it towards life or whether be it towards executing an idea or doing an exam. Previous four CSAT papers in my attempts I had cleared only on the basis of maths. But 2023 maths was such that it was lengthy and time taking. So almost all of the people that I know have cleared the CSAT in 2023. They have solved the reading comprehensions. So that point I realized that the UPSC is trying that we should not be rigid. Ki bas main maths karke aunga and I will get through. So in 2024 I prepared everything: the reading comprehension, maths, the mains answer writing, the optional answer writing. I went all in with all my energy. Let us do this one more time. Let us do this last time. So, and the things turned out with God's grace. I increased my marks in the mains exam as well. I cleared prelims with ease, and my interview was also on the very first day. So I had no time to be stressed about the interview because it was within the first 10 days when the schedule was announced. So I was very much ready for it because I had already appeared in the interview twice. An interview, not much you can prepare. It is about the personality and how you express yourself in those 30 minutes that are given to you. So I was fairly relieved by after the interview, and I thought that whatever happens happens for good. And I started to take up some other mentorship opportunities that are there to guide future students. So I started that. I also started my YouTube, my Instagram account and my Telegram account to reach out to people and to share the notes that I had made. So my Telegram account is Sarthak UPSC PSIR. So those of you who are preparing for UPSC can have a look at that without space, without anything. It is simple written Sarthak UPSC PSIR. So I started that and I just waited for the final results to come, and they came, and I was very happy to find my name, and it was a rank that has improved from last time. So I was hoping for the things to get better, and even better was on the result day that my friend also, whom we used to share our notes. I used to check his answer copies because I had comparatively more marks than him in 2022 mains, and I got also recommended that time as well. So I used to check his copies. He also got selected, and I used to tell him before the result as well that you would get selected in some rank or the other, but you are definitely in the list. So more than seeing myself in the list, it was happier to see somebody who I guided to see him in the list, and he is Vedant rank 601. So he also got into the list, and it was a very happy day. And I think after that, I have been meeting students every day to answer their doubts as to what can be done to clear UPSC in the initial few attempts. When I look back and I want to tell Sarthak of first attempt in 2019, 2020, I would tell him three, four things. That first is, do not miss any part of the syllabus. Do not think it off as a university exam. Take every part of the syllabus diligently, study it sincerely. Second is, I would suggest practice MCQs and practice answer writing, because in first attempt I was not able to even read the whole paper in 2019. So I think if I had read the whole paper, the things could have been different in that year itself. So I would suggest. And third thing I would suggest is, all those who are appearing for this exam or any public services exam, I think what is required is that you are aware of the current affairs, you are aware of what is happening around the world. So please read newspapers. There is no substitute to newspaper reading in the UPSC preparation, especially. And everybody who comes to ask me, I suggest only these things: that if you read newspaper, you would definitely grow as a person every day, because there are a lot of knowledgeable people writing editorials in the newspapers like the Indian Express or the Hindu or whichever you are comfortable with. Editorials even in Hindustan Times, the Times of India, they are also very good. So the reading part is very important, and when you read, your mind makes new neural connections that would help you to become a knowledgeable person. And when you talk, when you write, that knowledge would be reflected in the answers or the interview that you give. So I think this advice I would like to give Sarthak of 2019.
थैंक यू। ये सवाल मेरे पूछने से पहले ही आपने बता दिया कि व्हाट एडवाइस वुड यू गिव। सो फैंटास्टिक। सो सार्थक, योर जर्नी हैज नॉट बीन सो, वैसे तो आपने 5-10 मिनट में बता दिया, बट आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड ईच डे, एवरी डे फॉर द लास्ट फ्रॉम 2019, रियलाइजिंग योर मिस्टेक। मे बी कितने लोग फ्रेंड्स का कहीं और हो रहा है, किसी की कहीं शादी हो रही है, कहीं मिसिंग आउट ऑन फैमिली फंक्शंस एंड सो मेनी चैलेंजेस ऑफ डे टू डे अफेयर। कभी कोविड आ गया, कभी खुद की तबीयत खराब हो गई, सो मेनी अप्स एंड डाउन्स। यूपीएससी ट्रूली बड़ी अनप्रडिक्टेबल है। उसका जो यू है, यूनियन की जगह वो अनप्रडिक्टेबल मैं कहता हूँ, बड़ा अनप्रडिक्टेबल है। और उसमें आपने जिस तरीके से द वे यू नेविगेटेड योरसेल्फ टाइम टू टाइम फ्रॉम वेरियस टाइम, बिकॉज कई बार आप हो भी गए, आप रुक भी सकते थे, बट टू इम्प्रूव योर सेल्फ, टू इम्प्रूव गिविंग योर सेल्फ another chance requires a very different kind of a mindset and an attitude towards the exam. And I think that's what is showered upon you. And the way you mentioned, yeah, आप जब किसी को मेंटर करो और वो भी आ जाए, कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशन टू वेदांत एज वेल। एंड डेफिनेटली मेहनत जो वो होता है ना, जो लाइक अर्जुन इज वेरी टैलेंटेड, but Guru Drona is still there, and the credit goes to him for shaping his talent to the world's biggest, the best Dhanurdhar like that. So why you need a mentor or teacher like that? So सबका अपना अपना thought है. I'm not trying to be justifying that, but what I feel is कि sometimes we don't realize our own power, and it takes a mentor to guide you to how to manage your own energies and capabilities. Thank you for that. And yes, I would request you, and I will be putting here Sarthak's Telegram channel in the description. You can join, and I'll take do share me on the chat so that I can put it without spelling mistake. And people who are looking for any kind of guidance, you do definitely reach out to him. अपने आप को रोको मत, थिंकिंग कि ये कोई सिली है, कि क्या सोचेंगे, कि क्या बोलेंगे, ये हंसेंगे, ऐसा करके आप मत सोचिए। यू आस्क डायरेक्टली। now that you have the telegram channel, you reach out to not just Sarthak, any topper I would say, जो जिन्होंने ये मुकाम हासिल किया है, to be in the list today. And specifically people who are giving mains and interviews, उन्होंने effort सबने मारा है. So there's no one single advice. आप सब अलग हो. India is a country of diversity, and you all represent the diversity of the nation. So your doubt might be solved better by Sarthak, because he could understand you from the perspective what you are coming from than anyone else. So do come to reach out to youngsters, I mean the toppers, and they will definitely help you guide. कोई भी डाउट को सिली मत सोचिए अपने आप से। डोंट जज योरसेल्फ बिफोर इवन यू शेयर योर कंसर्न। बट यस, आप करियर के बारे में जानना चाहते हैं, यू कैन ऑल्सो रीच आउट टू मी। And when it comes to about exam or anything in particular, as Sarthak mentioned in his journey, I mean, people would definitely reach out to you. With that, I'd like to thank Sarthak for your time. It was a very short conversation, but extremely involving one, and I feel that your the journey, especially of you and what your takeaways from school time to जो आपके साथ आज भी है, is what uh, is the learning which you carry along with you. And definitely wishing you a fruitful career as a bureaucrat, and making India proud, and India proud in all the platforms across the globe. All the best, Sarthak. Thank you for the
Thank you.
your presence today at a very short time. Thank you.